Welcome everybody to another rendition of S&M Iracing, a Sunday night edition. Drivers are currently qualifying. They should be wrapping up here shortly, so we will go and check out our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular amongst birds singing up, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
We are back at the Talladega Superspeedway as qualifying is just about wrapped up. The drivers are taking the grid. Let's get a look at tonight's starting order. On pole, it looks like you're going to have the S&M driver of Jamie Shaw outside row 1, David Scott, Billy Rickett, Brandon Coots, and Sean Stamper are going to be your top 5. We'll take a look a little further deeper into your starting lineup. We have 85 laps in front of us at the Talladega Superspeedway. We're going to have some couple stage breaks. The damage is on. We have unlimited fast repairs, but if you get caught up in a wreck, you will be going to the back of the pack. As we'll take a look at today's race info. Looking pretty sunny out there. There we go. 65-degree weather. The track temperature is at 124 degrees right now. So the track should be hot and slick to get this thing started as Jamie Shaw looks to take the green flag behind the pace car and get this race started. 85 laps around the 2.66 mile Talladega Superspeedway. Should be fast. We got a new setup underneath the cars tonight. A little less tape should allow a little bit more pushing around the Superspeedway and increase some speeds and increase the bump draft and just really take these cars and make them fly around here. As we get a look at your outside pole sitter, Billy Rickett's going to be in the City Chevrolet 49 Brian Coots in the Chase Elliott number 9 Hooters machine. Got Sean Stamper starting in the P5. That is a wild scheme. Looks awesome with the chrome. Grant Wesley is going to start outside row 3. Tommy Rogers. We got a couple guys still left to grid. Casey Pfeiffer. Nick Bauman starts at 10. And to round out the top 10 is going to be Mike Rimkus. Looks like Mike in a triple-digit car. That's a little different. Michael Wiley still yet to take this grid in P11, which is odd for Michael. He is usually dominant on the pole here. He usually is putting his car up front. Jeremy Jeffries in P12. Randy Showers starting 13th. James Smith, Mr. CEO. And last night's winner at Daytona will be rolling off outside row 7. Jake Lucas. Trevor Haley still yet to take the grid. He'll be starting 16th. Odd for him to be that starting that far back. Ryan Wilson changes his number up on us tonight. He's in the 23 Angry Wives Racing Machine tonight. Another great looking paint scheme. Steve Chester came back from last night's race. Also, to see guys returning. Kyle Cameron, you got a couple teammates nose to tail in the 55. He'll be starting inside row 10. Dan Adkins on the outside, starting in 20th position. Another SMT car right here. Brian Hayes. Wayne Stewart from Canada makes a return from last night as well. Justin Selway in the number 10 machine. And Zach Cato, the P3 finisher last evening, rolling off 24th. Eric Bolton in the 007 car. Really missed an opportunity to have James Bond on that thing. He'll be starting 26th. And Travis Ward is, Eric Bolton is 25th. Travis Ward is 26th. Aiden Stull, another returning driver. He's 27th. Justin, he was strong at Daytona. He had some issues. I think he backed out halfway through it. 28th, Eric Hayden in 29th position. 30th, Jeremy Oglesby. 31st, Ricky Miles. And we have one from Great Britain, Robert DeJersey. I'm sure that's not the proper pronunciation of it. Greg Watchkey starting 33rd. Kenny Powell in the 45 will be rolling off 34th. Paul Olson in 35th. Kevin Dixon, I don't believe he did not put down a qualifying lap. He's going to start in the back and try to wait out some of the crashes. He's rolling off 36th. 37th will be Carlos Ortiz in the 29 machine tonight. Looks like we have Fred Anderson. We're waiting. Looks like still a couple cars to grid here. Stephen Baird, he's going to be in a number 3 Sported Dale Earnhardt, but something mayhem on that car. Hopefully he's not caught up in too much of it. Cameron Young from Canada, another Hooters-looking car in the breast cancer awareness, but he's in the 67 and rounding out the grid. Looks like it's going to be Chuck Barrett in the number 93 machine starting at the tail end of the field. Well, we get this race getting ready to start. We may have a grid delay. We may have had somebody drop out and not get here just in time. Might have packet loss. They're going to try to give these guys a chance to get back in the race, as we have to do. Pardon the display going to pop up, but I got a couple things I need to do. I've been at the firehouse all day, so I haven't had a chance to really even set anything up. I got back about 5 minutes ago to get this thing started off. Now we got all of our cameras. We shouldn't have to do that again, as we'll get a look at the starting grid as they begin to roll around this 2.66 mile superspeedway. It looks like we got a clear virtual afternoon from the Talladega Superspeedway. The temps are hot, the track is hot. Surprising how warm the track is with how cool the air temperature is. We'll see if that plays a effect into the grip of these race cars as they go around, as our grid camera really is zooming into nothing right now, but we can't control that. You're still getting a great look at some of the cars rolling off into the starting grid. It looks like the lights are going to be off on the pace truck. They are, so we are just going to do one lap around the superspeedway. Jamie Shaw looks like his luck has finally turned around. Last evening he finally gets back into the top 5, which was a run he really needed, and then he comes out here tonight and puts it on the pole. Great job for him. It looks like Nick Bauman has got back up here now. He must have been one of the cars they were waiting on. He's sporting a new paint job tonight. We call him Mr. Talladega. He has been dominant at this racetrack lately. Give Nick an EOL. I love it. They all know that car is one you're definitely going to have to look out for by the end of this thing. Another guy you're going to have to look out for in the 48 of Michael Wiley. And my personal pick for tonight, I hope he gets it turned around. He comes out, he's one of our admins. Kevin Dixon in the 009. He always finds his way to the front of these things. Sometimes he has a little bit of trouble going there. He needs his luck to turn around. Maybe tonight will be the night. That's my pick to try to get it done. And there's another dark horse car in the field of this guy right here. We talk about him every broadcast. He's sporting the number 12 Pennzoil machine yet again as the drivers get ready to take the green flag here at Talladega. They will approach the Geico restart zone and get ready to get this thing started. Jamie Shaw is going to lead them to green at Talladega. David Scott is going to make that high line work. He wants to lead the first lap around this thing as he comes out of turn 4 with a big push from the, looks like he's going to have the number 9, but it's actually the number 13 of Brandon Kutz pushing him. We're going to have David Scott is going to make that high line work. He wants to lead the first lap around this thing. Jamie Shaw comes with a big push. He's going to come back to the point. It looks like this setup is like going to have the number 9, but it's actually back and forth. Here comes the 8. Tommy Rogers pushing down there. Randy Showers is out there tonight. David Scott is going to lead that high line work. He wants to lead. We had a little echo there. We're working to get that figured out. YouTube turned itself on for some reason. Jamie Shaw continues to lead us up. Like I said, I didn't have time to get this thing really up and fired up tonight. So, pardon the little bit of interruption we've been having for the start of this thing. We'll get it all smoothened out by the end of this thing. Jamie Shaw continues to lead us around this ginormous 43 car field as we got some 3 wide action a little further back in the pack. Kevin Dixon is already up 7 spots from his starting position. The guy I said to keep an eye on. Justin is up 10 spots. Zach Cato up 10 spots. So some of these guys, Ryan Wilson, are moving their way forward as we have a 3 wide battle to lead. And Mr. Talladega himself, it did not take him long to get there. Lap 3, the 8 cars leading the outside row is, Dave Scott goes to move up in front of his teammates, almost turns Randy Showers there in the middle line. Nick Bowman's going to pull up in front of the top lane, trying to get that momentum and keep his car up front as we come to the start-finish line. Who's going to get this lap around? It looks like it's going to be Nick Bowman by just a small margin, 3 wide. Here comes that 48 as well on the outside. Dave Scott pushing the 8 car hard. He's all over him as we go around this racetrack. Let's take a look a little further back in the pack. Let's take a look at Billy Ricketts. We got a crash. We have a crash. Randy Showers is going to get caught up. The 9's going to get caught up. The 83, we have a large crash. Large crash on the back straightaway. Several drivers involved. We're not quite in our caution. Oh, my Lord. Some guys just refuse to check up. You still see him driving into the wreck. I don't know why the caution does not come out right away to save you. Check up and gain some track position instead of just driving in to the crash. We are not quite in our caution window yet. We do not throw a caution in the first 5 laps of the race. Nobody wants to sit behind a pace car all evening. But after lap 5, the next incident on track brings out the yellow flag, and we will get this thing re-lined up. However, that will be the only caution of the first stage. After this, we will race to the stage break. I have to go back and double check. I was told what the stages were by the CEO himself, and yet my brain has completely forgot what they were. So Nick Bauman is going to lead us to yellow, Dave Scott, Michael Wiley, James Smith, the guy we're going to have to drag in here. Jamie Shaw continues to hang in there on the top 5. So you have a Dark Horse car, a SMT car, a S&M car, an S&M car, and an S&M car up here on the top 5. There seems to be a theme here, and if you don't have a team, jump in the Discord, find some guys you're going to work with. We highly promote getting those guys into teams. We love when extra teams come in and they're hanging around. They have guys to work with. We're trying to cap the teams at a certain number so we don't have 20 guys all on one team just working against the whole field. We want everyone to have at least 4 teammates to get around these super speedway. As you see some cars going by the pace car, that is one of the S&M ways. We allow everyone to go ahead and get your laps back. Just ask for the black flag to be cleared before you come out of pit road, or before you stop in your box to get that black flag cleared. We want to keep everyone on the lead lap. We have damage on, so guys still lose their track position when they wreck. They have to go get it fixed. Maybe encourages some guys to not drive chaotically and get caught up in stuff and lose track position, especially when you have a 43 car field. Track position can be a big thing. These setups are made to pass, however, it still is a long way to make up. Dave Scott gives Nick Bauman a little shot going down pit road. The leaders are in. We'll see what they do in their pit boxes as they come in. You see the 9 car, his right front's tore up. A little chaos a little further back. This is what we were missing last night. Some of the chaos in pit road. Some guys, the rule is you're supposed to stay to the right, then turn into your box. Kind of a standard NASCAR rule. You get guys up driving up the inside, and guys trying to turn in their box. It leads to guys getting spun off the pit road or into pit road. As it looks like Carlos Ortiz, I'm not sure if he just did fuel. It looks like he came out of pit road. He is up 36 positions from his starting position. James Smith is up 10. So let's go ahead and bring in Mr. CEO so he can remind me, even though he already told me, what our stages are and were. James, it's Craig up in the booth. I completely forgot what you told me. Did we say 30 and 60 or 25-50 for the stage breaks tonight?
30 and 60, buddy.
30 and 60. Okay, my brain didn't completely fail me, but I definitely had a brain fart. Thank you for that. So far, up 10 spots, riding P4. I know it's early, but there's a lot of cars on the track. I think you'd rather be up here than back in the mess behind you with 43 cars.
Yeah, I'd rather be up here in the front, let all them wreck everybody out. We try to stay out of trouble, so yeah.
All right, well, good luck. I'm sure we'll be checking in again. I had to get those stages. Like I said, I'm a little discombobulated right now. I had YouTube start playing in the background. I don't think my volume settings are quite correct, so I'm going to have to double check all that. But we'll get it figured out here in a moment.
Yes, sir, buddy.
James Smith, Mr. CEO, riding around, getting it done. You see the cars on the outside. They are going to try to get their laps back. The thing is, with getting your laps back, if you pit and you end up in front of the leaders, if you got your lap back, they treat it like oh my lord, we have some guys that don't know how to get on the brakes catching back up to the field. Nobody's a professional in here. I don't think we have any pro drivers, but these are guys, a majority of them run every night, so you kind of get a feel of who can do what on the racetrack, what moves to make. They'll probably, I don't know if they'll go 1 to green this time around. Some cars are still getting their lap back. The admin teams have their track maps up to make sure they're watching if guys are still on pit road. Like I said, they try to keep everyone on the lead lap to the end of this thing. A lot of guys quit. You'll see that we have a 43 car field. Good chance by the end of this thing we might be down to 20. Most guys don't like to stick through it if they feel like they can't get through the field. But if you stick around by the end of this thing, you will be on the lead lap. You will have a shot to win this thing. Ends up being great races. When we have 43 cars, chaos is going to happen. It's Talladega. We're all not professionals, but there are still some damn good drivers in the field. Some higher I ratings are some 4K I ratings, some 3K I ratings. So if you just stick around and hang in there with it, good chance you'll win have a chance to win this thing, is it looks like we are going to stay 1 to green this time around. Get a look from the spotter cam. We have a bunch of cool cameras going around. We'll keep it here for now as you see the field starting to get ready. They're all doubling up, and that's the other thing. If you were a lap down, iRacing loves to put you in a single file line. If you have 15 cars that got their lap back, it tries to keep them in a single file line towards the back of the pack. The admin team says, just go ahead, double it up. They will get your black flags cleared before they go back green flag racing. So you should see the end of the field here starting to double up instead of having, you already see these guys have already got themselves double back up. Paul Olson here in the the Richard Petty. That's a shame I got that mixed up. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult the king. 43 car there as Michael Wiley gets ready to take the green flag yet again here at Talladega. Thank you, Trevor. It's hard to keep up with everything going on here. I'm just one guy. We're going to go ahead and go to the crank it up camera. I want to make sure the volume settings are good for you guys watching this thing. If we have to pull up a little graphic here and get these cars cranked up, you don't want to just hear the sound of my voice. You want to hear these guys getting it done at over 200 miles an hour as they take the green flag. Dave Scott leads into the green and immediately pulls up in front of Michael Wiley. Michael Wiley's going to drop down and try to pick up his teammate. We'll figure out where Dave wants to go, or if this inside Trevor's going to go to the bottom. So I have a feeling they're going to try to team up on the pack here and keep their cars up front as we go to the crank it up camera. We'd love to keep you in the crank it up camera, but we have some wild racing up front. We have 3 wide up here for the lead. 3 by 3 by 3. Going around side draft happening, a little door check-in. Guys trying to get aggressive on that side draft, trying to hold up the inside line and keep their momentum up and going. You see it there. You'll watch the 22 fall back as the 48 gets on the quarter panel of the 22 there. The 12's going to drop down. Oh, the 49 squeezes in front of the 48. They leave Dave Scott on the high side. He's going to find 3 his teammates, though, in the 34. And oh, no! Tommy Rogers gets in the back of the 75 a little too hard. That's going to cause chaos. Dave Scott, they're going to continue to wreck back here. It looks like a good majority of the field is going to... Oh, who is on their lid? Ricky Miles involved, Michael Wiley involved, Chuck Barrett got through it. Let's take a little further look back. We'll try to see if we can figure out who in the world is on their lid right now. They may have already towed. We'll go back and take a look at this thing at the end of this stage. Like I said, they stay green flag until we have more beating and banging up front. The 007's not going to be able to hang on to it, and he's going to go around. 88's involved, and more drives the 55, the 10. Guys just refuse to check up for these wrecks. Dave Scott gets back in another one. Continuing carnage everywhere at the Talladega Super Speedway. We just have to, guys just have to start checking up for these wrecks. Otherwise, they're going to continue to just plow into guys. They don't understand. If you check up, you find somebody to draft with, especially in the Gen 6 cars, if you get the numbers, as Tommy Rogers says, I'm not helping the 12. He wins enough. He's going to go to the outside with Eric Hayden and take over the point at the halfway mark of this, just a little shy of halfway in the first stage. Tommy Rogers is going to lead this thing in the 34 machine, but some guys in the back of the pack really just need to check up, miss the wreck. They'll gain 10-15 spots as Nick Bauman has now found Trevor Haley with James Smith. We'll see what they can do on the outside. But if you just check up, you'll gain 15-20 positions on the track. Link up with somebody. Try to catch the pack. These Gen 6 cars leave such a hole in the air that if you are drafting correct while the leaders or a pack in front of you is side by side, you will significantly catch the guys in front of you. And it just seems like everyone just gets so antsy to get through these wrecks and just hope and pray they make their way through them, which, as you can see, the 29 has got a full crab walk going. He's going to try to get that thing to pit road and get his fast repair as Trevor Haley goes to the point, takes it back from the SMT team of Tommy Rogers with his teammate right behind him. We have seen this song and dance every night so far this weekend. The 8 and the 12, or the 12 and the 8, with the 1 trailing right there behind them. Usually this point in the race, when these guys get caught up in wrecks, going to get trapped a couple laps down, that's when they start to fall out. It looks like we are already had 2 go ahead and back out of this thing. Some of the guys like the Catos, the Wilsons, the Showers, the Shaws, they all know that they're going to get their pit stop out of the way. It may even put them, and another part of this is we do not have a full fuel load on board of these machines, so you have to make a green flag pit stops during these green flag runs. If you time it right, and that might be what the 29 was doing. He knew he was going to lose a lap going around, but he might try to have made that lap extra or 2 laps extra under damage, go down pit road early and try to stretch his fuel out, where at least he gets one of those laps back and makes up a ton of track position going around the track. It's very possible that the 29 is stinking ahead like that. That is another great way to try to capture some more track position as they go around this super speedway. You get caught up in a wreck, it's no big deal. You'll get back going. If you find the right draft help, you pull off the right pit strategy, you could be 39th right now, and you might be 19th by the end of this first stage, putting yourself in a much better position on the track going around. So if anybody's listening who's caught up in some of these wrecks and they're just keeping their foot in it, take the commentator's advice. I race in this league quite often. I've been in the booth just the last 3 days. I'm usually up here. My 2 teammates are 1 and 2. It's a huge dividend to try to just work on strategy for this first stage. Get yourself in a better position for the second or even the end of this thing, because if at the second stage you can crack the top of 10, well then makes your journey to the front a lot easier coming to the end of this thing. We'll get a couple guys here towards the back of the pack. Kevin Dixon, I know he's technically, I believe, is he a lap down? Yes, he's a lap down. So there is only about 10 or so cars on the lead lap. So if you got caught up in that wreck and you play your cards right, even by the end of stage 1, you might get yourself within the top 10. Kevin Dixon, great job blending in with the leaders. He got caught up in that wreck, but if he can stay right here, he'll be one of the first cars to get his lap back, get back with this field under yellow, and still have great track position. He won't be stuck back in like 30-something position out there. Michael Wiley, another guy, he went and got his repairs. He found somebody to draft with on the racetrack. Kyle Cameron, same thing. He found one of his teammates in Randy Showers here going around the track. So there's a lot of different ways than just trying to push your way through people on this racetrack to make up track position. And if you exploit them all, you will find yourself having a very good shot at this thing. We take a look back at the 23 machine for the 55. These chrome cars look great. We got a bunch of different camera angles. The field's a little spread out right now, but you see, looking back at Randy Showers here, one of my favorite cameras here, the gyro cam. You'll see the banking in the corners as they approach. Oh, this one isn't rotating. Well, way to make a liar out of me. The Kyle Cameron's does. That's a great shot. You see his hands working in there. Pretty steady with the wheel. Looks like we have another wreck up in front of us. Let's see, that car keeps it up at the top, the 22. They're going to move around these guys. They had enough time to work their way through the crash. They're going to keep their foot in it as they go around the 2.66 mile super speedway. He's breathing the throttle, doing about 198 right now, moving along. Take a check in on Ricky Miles. You see the speed difference when you are by yourself. They were about 196 miles an hour, but if you get stuck by yourself, you are in the 180s. Let's see if he can tuck in behind the 47 here. If he can, you will watch. Oh, the 47's having some internet issues, but you see immediately 195 as the speed increases. That is just how much of a hole in the air with these big rear spoilers these cars create. Now, if Ricky can hang on, that's going to be the thing. You have to be within a certain distance of a car in front of you to start picking back up. It looks like he still has the draft. He's hanging 197. Ricky doing a good job keeping a steady line, trying to keep that pack in front of him. And he hits 199. It might just be a little too far for these guys, or for Ricky to hang on to. It looks like he's got it. It looks like he's starting to close the gap up a little bit. Looks like Brian Hayes, being the standout guy he is, he's trying to lay back a little bit so Ricky can pull to him, and then they can pull right back up to the back bumper of the 48. Teamwork is the dream work here. He's now got James Smith behind him, who's made his pit stop. Nick Bauman has gone to the lead. Tommy Rogers. So it looks like while we were going through the field and taking a look at everything, we may have missed some green flag pit stops, but that's all right. The field's so spread out right now. We're just trying to capture all the action going around this racetrack. Unless the 12 somehow got caught up in that wreck, it looks like the 12 is on pit road. He's changed the left side tires, which tells me if he's taken 4, which we see the left side go up now, he may have gotten involved with that 22 that we saw going around when we were on board with Kyle Cameron, unless this is just a planned pit strategy. But something tells me the 12, that was not planned, because he would not go in without his teammates. You just saw him in the lead. You saw these guys caught up in wrecks earlier, like your Kevin Dixon. He's back on the lead lap now, riding P6. So, again, like I said, if you get caught up in a wreck, try to dodge it, work on strategy. There is more ways to make up time on this racetrack than just shoving guys or making it 3 wide, being crazy, going 4 wide, making drastic moves. As we have more guys, the 8 car is in on pit road. We see him here. He's going in. I don't know why it gave me a replay of it, but that's all right. Let's take a look. He gets into his box pretty clean, stops right on the money. Awesome looking Ally car there. He should be out on pit road now as we go back and take a look at Dixon. Nick Bauman is still going to be the leader. We'll see that cycles out. We have Casey Pfeiffer and Tommy Rogers. They are by themselves. Nick Bauman is out by himself by a long shot. So this crew right here, these 3, it depends if they can stay together. They should eat up that pack in front of them, unless these lap cars in front of this pack here with the AWR team can link up with, or I should say, if Nick Bauman can link up with these lap cars tucking behind him, he should stay pretty safe. But out there by himself, his face in the wind, you see it in the speed. He's only running 186. As these guys are well over 200 miles an hour, they are going to make up some serious time on the leaders going around here. Tommy Rogers has found Zach Cato, so if he could get moving, he should get up here to Casey rather quickly. Let's get on board with the 34 car, and let's give you a ride around here. It looks like Casey may have found Dave Scott, so we'll see basically at this point what pack is drafting better. And it'll see, it looks like Tommy might be close enough here. He's only a couple tenths off, maybe about 6 or 7 tenths. If he can eat up a little bit more of that gap. You see it actually there, it's a 98 ahead of that 3-car pack in front of them. So it really depends where can Casey tuck in line. They're going to go around. If he can do a good job managing it, he might be able to hang on to P2, but this is really not going to help Nick Bauman at all. He is out there. You see him in the middle of 3 and 4. He's just, there's nothing he can do. The other non-benefactor to this is his fuel cell. If he only put enough fuel in it to make it to the stage, but now he's running out there by himself in the draft out, he is going to eat up a lot more fuel. So we'll see if he put a little extra fuel into his car to try to make it to the end of the stage. As you see the 34 car, he's going to just get this draft of the 98. He's probably going to make his move right around him. We'll see if he stays in line, if he wants to push him. Nope, he says P2 is mine. I'm also going for the lead here. We'll see how fast he can get by Nick Bauman. Bauman's going to make a drastic move, trying to hang on to the draft of the guys in front of him to keep his momentum up. I just don't think he can do it. He cannot, and this is going to let Tommy Rogers pull right up and pass the 8 car as we are in 5 laps to go of the first stage. Zach Cato, the AWR car, giving the 34 a big push. It looks like Bauman's trying to Bauman trying to throw a little bit of a block there, seeing if he could keep up. But now, oh boy, that must have been a good strategic move for the 8 because it separated him from the AWR car. Now you have Kevin Dixon pushing Nick Bauman back out front as Kevin Dixon has moved himself to P2. So it's Nick Bauman, Tommy Rogers, Kevin Dixon, Casey Pfeiffer, and Jeff Anderson. Your top 5. Ricky Miles popped in the broadcast there. He must have clicked the wrong thing. But now the 98 has gone with the inside line. So it really is going to be dependent how well and how efficiently the 34 hang on the quarter panel of the 8 car. The 8 car is going to go up. Kevin must have been getting hot, or he just ditched him. I can't see Nick doing that to Dixon unless Dixon is thinking he might have to go down pit road, or he just says, I'm going to get in line. I need to block this outside lane. So who could play into who wins this first stage is Zach Cato. He's a lap down, so we'll see how long Tommy Rogers wants to stick in P2. He might just stay there right until they get to the tri-oval and try to take the stage away from Bauman. Only time will tell as we have 3 laps to go on the stage. Oh, Nick Bauman still having a little bit of connection issues there. Let's take a look a little further back. Brian Hayes is recovered. He's up to P6. James Smith riding by himself. He's P7. Mike Rimkus, he's going to have to go down pit road. It looks like this is a scheduled stop. Some of these guys know they can short pit it here. They know that they can gain track position by... Oh, what in the world was that? Brandon Cooks just intentionally wrecks the 40, was that the 46 car, 49 car? We're going to have the admin team take a look at that and figure out what that is. Don't be surprised if you see this car all of a sudden disappear from the racetrack. He's turning down, getting out of the way. Let's see if he does anything dumb here. He does not, so I am not sure what in the world that was all about as Casey Pfeiffer goes underneath the 8 car as we come to the final lap of the stage. Kevin Dixon, oh, he's just going to be a little short on fuel. That's what I said about these strategies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. He slides, trying to get it checked up to pit road speed. We'll keep it right here. Casey Pfeiffer, Tommy Rogers, Nick Bauman are going to battle out as they go through 1 and 2. The first guy back around this thing will be the first stage winner of the event. Let's keep it here. We'll see if Tommy wants to make a move, if Nick helps Tommy make a move. I'm not sure if Casey is a teammate of anybody in the Discord chat. If you're not in the Discord chat, get in there. We'll get you in for some driver interviews as we go through 3 and 4. The 34 is all over the back of the 98. He was a little squirrely. That's going to take poor Tommy out. He got a little out of shape there. Casey looks like he's going to run away with this thing. Nick Bauman isn't quite close enough. So Casey Pfeiffer is going to take stage 1 here at Talladega tonight. The yellow flag is out for the stage, or our version of a green and white checkered flag that NASCAR uses. You're going to see this caution might get extended out a couple laps. They got to get all the way back around to catch the pace car. That's another thing You have to not only make sure you get fuel to get you to lap 30, but you also have to now come all the way back around the racetrack, catch the pace car, pace behind it, and catch and go down pit road. So you really need almost 2 extra laps of fuel. So if you think you're going to try to get a little shorter pit stop by taking less fuel, I don't think so. You have to make it all the way around. Otherwise, you're going to have to coast or tow in all the track position you do lose coming around the racetrack. Well, that's too bad. Congratulations on stage, but you are going to the back. But it looks like Casey's going to be just fine. He's checking up for the pace car. He's actually coming to almost a stop. Yes, he got too far out ahead of the pace car. He bypassed the pace car. Sometimes it's weird when the pace car comes out. You know, sometimes you have to go all the way back around. Looks like this time he had to slam on the brakes. That's just an iRacing thing. You can never quite tell. You have to, if you don't have a track map up, it really is a helpful tool, especially if you're racing. Try to go in, because now he might be in some trouble, because he is stopped there waiting on the pace car, but the lead lap cars had the green lights were open at the end of pit road. So poor Casey's going to win the stage, but he is going to lose a ton of track position. His best bet is just get back going. The admin team just might give him his spot back in line. Sometimes they do that for guys that kind of get screwed over by that going on with the pace car. And Kutz, he has gone around too many times, or he's got to catch the pace car, but he will be going back down pit road to get his services. Kevin Dixon, however, looks like, because with his short pit, he only needs a splash of fuel. He's going to take a bunch of track position, and like I said earlier, if you hang around and you play your cards right and you work on not only passing cars on the racetrack but get your pit strategies done, you can make up a ton of spots. And right now, remember, Kevin started in the back. He is up 33 positions, and I have a feeling he will be the leader at this, so he'll be up 35 spots from his original starting position, just 30 laps through this thing. As the cars continue to go around the racetrack, we are going to just show one of our sponsors for tonight, D&D Graphics. They have painted all the S&M cars, like Kevin Dixon, Michael Wiley, James Smith, Ricky Miles cars. He does an awesome job, as the camera moves on me, an awesome job on these race cars. Does great work. He's working on hats and t-shirts. You get your own custom name, number, and any style you want on these things. Does a great job in the paint booth, so you could always check out his page to go get yourself some cars painted or some merch. He's an awesome sponsor of S&M. We are going to step away for just a moment here. I'm going to work on getting our sounds turned up a little bit, so we will be right back in a second. Alrighty, as we go take a look on board with the S&M driver of Kevin Dixon. Again, another beautifully painted car by D&D Graphics. Brian Hayes is up 18 positions on the racetrack. Brandon Clips looks like he's a little too far ahead of the field. Admin team, I know some of you are watching it, scoring him P1 right now. He's going to have to stop on track. He does right now. Admin team taking a look. Maybe not the best spot to stop on track. Maybe go at the exit of turn 2 and wait by the blue cone. You still got a bunch of cars coming out of pit road. Try to dodge it. Looks like that's what he's going to do. So Grant Wesley also is going to have to stop on track. Looks like he is also too far ahead right now. Some guys just not paying attention to what lap they're on. He's catching up to the back of the field. He is scored in P2, but he's going to go down pit road, so he'll probably wait for the field to come by. Jeremy Jeffries, likewise, he looks like he has put himself too far out. some guys just get a little confused when they're getting their laps back. So it looks like Kevin Dixon will be the leader, followed by Brian Hayes. Dave Scott has recovered back. He'll end up being P3. P4 will be James Smith. Nick Bauman recovers. Well, I shouldn't say recovers. He finished P2 in the stage. Casey Pfeiffer, yes, they're going to let him get his spot back. It's the right thing to do. He just kind of got screwed over there by the pace car. And sometimes if the car's passing you, instead of the game telling you wait on the pace car, it's too busy telling you stay behind this guy, stay behind that guy. It doesn't give you the correct information. So awesome job letting him get his spot back. They'll clear the black flag when they go back green unless he decides to go back down pit road. Billy Rickett still hanging around in the top 10 as well, just outside Mr. Chester in the 83 Little Caesars car. I called it the pizza car the other night. Completely forgot the name of that company. Michael Wiley, Trevor Haley. These are two guys. They are unofficial teammates, but they work really well together. Probably two of the best guys that you want pushing you. If you look at the mirror and you see one of these two cars, there's a good chance you are going to the front, and you are going to the front rather quickly. As you take a look back from the 48 car at the 09 car, Grant Wesley, he's waiting on the field to come around. You hear he's got it in neutral. Yes, Kevin Dixon looking back at David Scott in the 75 machine tonight. Brian Hayes taking a look at that awesome Ally paint job with the Dark Horse Motorsports on the nose of that thing. As we get ready to begin the second stage, Trevor Haley, there it is. There's the Angry Wives Racing Machine of Kyle Cameron up and close. Get up there and hit him for me one time. Sean Stamper's on board, looking back at the breast cancer awareness. Chase Elliott's scheme of, looks like it's just going to be Travis Ward, I believe, in the 18, or that is the 67 machine of Cameron Young, racing with us from Canada tonight. Let's see how many cars we still have on the racetrack right now. Looks like, let's see here. See if we can figure out who our last car on the racetrack is. My timing and scoring is busy trying to update right now. Let's see here. Stephen Barrett, Chuck Barrett looks like he's still hanging on. He started last. It's a strategy that isn't too bad. So it looks like we still have 26 cars in that. Like I said, you're going to lose about 15 to maybe 20 guys in the first stage. They just aren't patient enough. That's why we open up the field to 60-something cars, hoping that we get a full 43 by the end of this thing as Kevin Dixon gets ready to wind this thing up. The pace car is off. Nick Bowman's still flashing a little bit. Nick, fix your internet as they approach the Geico restart zone. And Tommy Rogers already have problems. There's Jamie Shaw. Don't know what in the world just happened back there. Let's see. They're already out of shape. Oh, the 425 just going to slam in the back. What is the 425 doing? Trying to jump the start and ends up wrecking the field. Poor Tommy's going to go for a ride. Tommy hasn't had much luck of anything right now. Don't know what the 425 is doing besides trying to jump and restart. You see how that works. The admin team, I'm sure, will be all over that. Either give him a one-lap hold and make him go to the back, or he might just get the boot. Not a big fan of guys that can't drive under yellow, because if you can't drive under yellow, you sure as hell can't drive under green flag conditions. Could have been something else going on. They might give him a chance to stick around. Don't like getting rid of people at S&M. But we also don't want to keep troublemakers because we want to stay green flag racing. We want everyone to have a good time. Just some silly moves being made. As the 8's going to jump to the outside of 75. Does the 009 go with him? He sure does. That 75 just squeezes in front of James Smith, but he makes the move a little too late. And that is going to turn Dave Scott around. It looks like we have a couple other guys going around. Cato is dodging it. The Ryan Wilson's, oh, Ryan Hayes, that could have what started. He's having some rough internet connections, and then they're just not checking out. Drives me nuts. Cato's still gonna. Guys, what are we doing? We had a great race last night. Guys are just being aggressive tonight. Only 85 laps last night. We had 125. As Billy Rickett has jumped out in front with Casey Pfeiffer right behind him. The 09 of Sean Stamper is there as a double 09 looks to get to his outside with Nick Bauman and James Smith. I'm going to assume, no, Trevor Haley just had to dodge it, so he's only with 2 cars. This front pack is probably going to pull away from them unless they get to really side drafting each other and slowing each other down. We have had action all over the track. We are in our second stage. There is a caution available to us, I'm sure. I think we took the green flag at lap 32 or 33, so somewhere around the 37, 38 mark, we'll get our yellow flag, get everyone caught up. They might get a little bit of a scolding here from the admin team saying, take it easy. Way too many wrecks. We only had maybe 3, 4 wrecks, bad wrecks. Last night, we didn't have any wrecking under caution. And tonight, the chaos is out. We have chaos all over the place. But right now, you have 6 cars in the lead. Pack will keep it right here for a moment. As cameras are zooming out, there's no one in the ballpark. The 12's falling back. We'll see if the 009, as he has a run down the back straightaway. Let's see, we're 3 and 3. These cars on the outside don't seem nearly as dominant as they usually are here with these side drafts. Maybe a byproduct of the new setup they have under there. The 009 has ditched the inside lane, so that should really help the outside here. The 09, yes, he's going to get on the quarter panel of the 98. That's going to pull him off the 49. That is going to kill their momentum on the outside. You see it there. You see the speeds dropping on Billy there. He's down to 196. We'll go on board with Kevin Dixon. Well over 198, getting into the corners, so gaining momentum. James Smith is going to try to get down there on the quarter panel to further pull. Yep, right there. He's going to get on the quarter panel of 49. You see it, just pull him back. Now you have 4 versus 2, and at Talladega, it's always better to have the numbers with you. You're going to move forward, whether you're on the top, bottom, inside, doesn't matter. As we head into turn 4, lap 38, I have a feeling we'll have caution here. If we don't, we will go further back in the pack and check on what's going on back there. There's a yellow, and did Billy Rickett get it? It's going to depend on timing and scoring, whatever loop they cross, to see who's going to be leading this thing as they come back. Who is it going to be? The 009 kept the advantage, so he's going to be the leader at the end of this thing. The yellow flag is out. There's cars all over this racetrack right now. What in the world was he doing? Looks like he's spinning out all by himself. Unless he came out of pit road, he might be exiting. Yep, there he goes. He left. He's towing. I have a feeling you're going to watch this car disappear here. Some guys just can't hang out. Yep, there he goes. That's how it goes, man. That's just, some guys just really don't want to hang out. As you get a look at the front grandstands and the back straightaway, as the cars continue to catch up, I have a feeling as we start, or as cars start to eliminate themselves, the yellow flagman emphatic on his yellow flag this time around. As we start to have cars eliminate themselves around the 2.66 mile super speedway, though I'm sure the racing action will pack up. We still have plenty of cars on the racetrack, at least 25 out here right now. We may even have some more. The 425 still on pit road, so we're still at 26 cars. The chaos usually starts to die down as guys start to get ahead and continue to wreck, get frustrated as the leaders are coming down pit road here. The 009's in. He's having a smooth stop so far. It looks like we don't have any tires going up on the 09 machine. He's just going to get a splash of fuel, try to make it to the end of this stage. There's our pole sitter, Jamie Shaw, still riding around 11th. I don't think he's made it to his box yet, judging by the damage on the back of that machine. He has not just yet. He does have pit stop number 1, so yeah, here he comes. He's pulling in now. 3, 2, 1. Jamie's in his box. He's going to get that thing fixed up. You see the damage get paired. He's going to look like he might take 4 tires here. The right side's going up. He probably knows he's not going to gain track position coming in to his box that late. So Kevin Dixon is going to continue to lead this thing as we go around the track. So we'll give you a quick rundown of the top 10. It's Kevin Dixon, Nick Bauman, Casey Pfeiffer, Sean Stamper, Trevor Haley, Billy Rickett, James Smith, Grant Wesley, Fred Anderson, and Kyle Kamen has recovered back to the 10th position. And the lights are still on the pace car. Let's keep giving you the rundown. Dave Scott in 11th, Jeremy Jeffries, Ricky Miles, Steve Chester, Cameron Young, Tommy Rogers, Jamie Shaw, Ryan Wilson, Stephen Baird, and Michael Wiley is your top 20. In 21st, you have Zach Cato, Randy Showers, Chuck Barrett, Brian Hayes, and Travis Ward. May have, yes, he's the 18. He is going to finish in 25th as he's backed out. So the last car is now 24 as we're going to get ready to take the green flag of the second stage. As you see, the lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to get ready to go back green flag racing. We will stay green until lap 60. The final stage, and this is what everyone misses when they quit early, the final stage will have cautions as necessary. However, they don't throw them back to back. We're not going to sit here and restart the race a million times. Take the green, go back to yellow, take the green. So there's going to be at least 2, 3, maybe even 5 laps between yellow flags before you see the yellow flag come back out on the racetrack, just to keep green flag racing going. Now, when we're heading towards the green-white checker or the last lap, they'll try to throw the yellow flag as soon as possible. Usually somewhere in the middle of 3 and 4. It just helps, as you saw earlier, and I told you earlier, sometimes with the pace car, you have to go all the way back around, and you're just wasting laps at that point. So when they know when they throw it in the middle of 3 and 4 at the exit of turn 4, the pace car will immediately come out as they get through the tri-oval. They'll check up, they'll get right behind it. It eliminates wasting laps under the yellow flag. Just something they figured out by racing as often as they do, that helps. And 98 seems to be having a little bit of connection issues. It seems like it's only under yellow, so hopefully when they go back green flag racing, as he's really having some connection issues right there, hopefully he can figure that out. Maybe if he's making his own popcorn to watch the end of this thing, kill the microwave because it's killing the Wi-Fi. But as you see, 24 cars still here, all on the lead lap. Kevin Dixon's getting ready to go back green flag. 009 needs to tighten up that outside lane a little bit. There he goes. They're pulling up, getting ready to go. As Kevin Dixon continues to lead this thing, he approaches the Geico restart zone. He is free to go anywhere within the Geico restart zone. If he doesn't go by the end of it, the 8 car is free to go. But you won't see that mistake happen from Kevin Dixon. He accelerates quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if you watch the 12 try to jump up here on the outside and get behind the 8. Yes, James Smith also gets in there. The 009 doesn't get the best restart of the night for himself. That is going to leave Casey all by himself. I don't think it's because people don't like Casey. I think it's right now they're unsure of his internet connection. When the guy starts blinking at Talladega, you don't capture the draft of the guy. Or also if you're trying to push him and he just disappears and reappears and you're halfway through the rear of his car, it just going to turn him, and it just causes a little bit of chaos. Kevin Dixon has some of his friends behind him to try to help get him and keep him up front of this thing. You have an S&M admin car leading this thing, followed by 2 Dark Horse racing cars in the 8 and the 12, and then another S&M car and the CEO of James Smith. He's had a great weekend of racing as he actually gets the wall a little bit there. The wall didn't want to let him go, and Kyle Cameron continues to find his way towards the front of these things. He's just got to be able to miss a couple more wrecks, and he should be able to have himself a night. I'm just waiting for the night that he goes and steals one of these things. As the 35 is going to, I'm not sure what happened there. Randy Showers is going to pound the inside wall. Yes. Oh, yep. Almost gets it checked up before the end of this thing. He's going to try to get in reverse here and get back going. He'll finish out the order. Maybe he has to tow. Kevin Dixon going back around. Yes, Randy had to tow. I don't know if that thing was killed. I don't know if Randy is frustrated and gonna back out. He's one of our normal drivers. He knows to hang on this thing as we are 3 wide from P2. Kevin Dixon has just got to figure out which lane is moving right now as Jamie Shaw, the pole sitter, is bringing his S&M teammate up through the middle. Jamie Shaw, the pole sitter, looking to get back out in front at Talladega. He's been involved in a couple things as we are 3 wide, 4 rows deep for the lead. Nick Bauman continues to push, but Michael Wiley has the advantage right now with the pushing the 84 out front. They are going to slide up in front of the outside lane. You see it here. He's giving a whale of a push now. We talked about it last night. The air dam on the front of these cars is open on the right side, so you might see Michael hang in the right front out in the wind. You see it right there. He hangs it up there just above to try to cool his temps down as Billy Rickett is making a big move on the inside lane with no one side drafting that inside lane for the first 3 rows, 2 rows. It can work, but now the 3 cars leaning on the 88 a little bit, slowing down that inside lane. Going to let Jamie Shaw and the S&M crew take advantage of that, but now here comes the inside lane roaring back with Ricky Miles found his way, so the S&M crew has found their way to the front. All the admins have gotten their way up to the front. They're on the high lane, they're in the low lane, they were in the middle. They know how to get around here and get it done as Billy Rickett at one is too close to tell who goes and grabs that lap. Billy Rickett had a strong run last night as well at Daytona. He's proving that he needs to get on one of these teams or start a team that he's got some skill and he needs to find some permanent drive to help us. He's got the 24 helmet. I love that if you're following. Obviously a big Jeff Gordon fan. Support anybody who's going to put anything 24 on their cars. You see that high lane now going to work their way towards the bottom. They're going to try to side draft that inside lane and slow them down and pull them back. Get the air on that spoiler and pull their way back. You see they stayed up high a little too long and it gave the advantage to the inside lane. Now we'll see what Ricky Miles' teammates are on the outside of him. We'll see if he pulls up and gets in front of Jamie Shaw. Miles is up 26 spots. He didn't get up there in time, but that's all right. He's probably just wanting to be patient. He knows sometimes the inside lane isn't the fastest line around this racetrack, but sometimes it's the safest. When you have chaos above the left, get down on that apron, get out of Dodge. Appreciate him having the CSR logo right there behind the number 5 on that machine. Appreciate that very much, Ricky, supporting the channel. And getting it done is it looks like Jamie Shaw. Look at that with that side draft. It really, really slows that inside lane. But if you take a look up top, the AWR cars are working with the SMT cars. Now they are going to try to side draft that middle lane. If the inside lane can stay on the door of the inside lane, you will now see that middle lane will start to fall back, and the outside lane, the uppermost lane, will start to work their way forward as they have 5 cars on the outside. They should be able to start to make something happen with Kyle Cameron leading that group around. We are only 12 laps away from the final stage break of this thing. You're going to see them. It's only a stage break, but these guys love going for wins no matter what it is. All of our stage winners, race winners, top 5, lap leaders, pole sitters, all get featured on the Facebook and in the Discord. Some guys take some great action shots from around here of their cars, other cars, some wrecks in the Discord. This Discord started maybe 5-6 weeks ago. We have probably over 140. It is a very active Discord. Several teams right now in the chat. It looks like we have at least 4 or 5 different teams represented in the chat, being ready to do some driver interviews. Now we're green flag racing, so we're going to be able to pull some of the drivers in and talk to them about their race so far. And when we hit the cautions, we try not to bother them while they're green flag. But if you're not a part of the Discord, definitely get in there, check it out. It's very active. Now the guys there on the bottom, the 55 is going to try to side draft them. I don't know if they have enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage, so this could be a calculated move for the 84, the 48, the 09 and such. they might be trying to protect the pit lane so they can pit when they need to. We are kind of on a longer run here in the stage, so don't be surprised if we see some guys pulling off and trying to get down to pit road. As the 55, you see the efficiency of the side draft when you are the outside car. You can really make up some ground, and a great job, Kyle, getting now away from that inside lane, down the back straightaway, trying to keep your momentum up. You'll see him in the corner. He probably should dive right back to the inside. There you go. Need to get a little closer to the 48. You saw him on the 09 last corner. Now you see him on the 48. The 48 tries to be defensive, but it's going to get a little out of shape. That's going to check up the line, and that's going to kill it inside. And now you're really going to see the 55 and the 23 rocket their way towards the front as Cameron challenges for the lead. The 48 shoving the 84, trying to keep him out front. I just don't know if they have the cool enough temps. That's the other thing with these guys. They are pushing hard right now. You don't want to see anyone blow up in front of the lead and take everyone out. It looks like we already have some drivers going down pit road. We don't have all 24 here. But did not see that one coming. I don't know if that could have been a calculated move. The 23 could have been screaming on their team radio that he is too hot, he's ready to blow up. That may have just been a genuine team move there by the 55 to try to keep the 23 cool. He might have needed the air. They were pushing hard there. They swap out. Dave Scott's going to push Ryan Wilson to the lead as we come to 8 laps to go in the stage. The 84 is going to get out of shape. Jamie Shaw's going to be in the grass. Another great save by the 84. We saw it last night. That is the definition of some car control right there yet again. Last night's was a little better. We'll give that one an 8 out of 10. Last night's was a 20 out of 10 as your leader is now going to be Ryan Wilson. Goes to the point in the 23 Angry Wives racing car. You see him there. Big fisherman, the goofy face. Love it. Love when these guys upload their pictures and graphics into this thing. Dave Scott shoving them hard here, keeping them out front. And Casey Pfeiffer is also, well, he's still blinking, but he is still hanging around in the P3. Hopefully he can get that. You see Dave Scott also got his picture up there from Tucson. Going around, riding P2, as it looks like, yes, the S&M and Dark Horse crews all came in together. Very well done. They are all tightly packed, and we'll watch to see how these guys get off of pit road. That is going to be key. We saw that be a big factor last night. Last night, the AWR team got a little too spread out. They went all the way through turns 1 and 2, and then they tried to check up as they got on the back straightaway, really hurting them in the long run there. This team seems to get out. You might see the 48 check up. You might see the 12 check up to try to get these guys single file. Yes, you see the 12 lift. The 8's going to lift to get in behind Jamie Shaw. You're going to see the 12. Yes, he's laying back trying to get and keep James Smith there. You might see the 48 back up just a little bit. The 12 should still have the draft of the car in front of them. That is going to help them get on and off pit road very efficiently and get back up to speed. And then this group also is coming down pit road. Let's get to the blimp camera. Well, the blimp camera doesn't do as good. We wanted to make sure that they also didn't have any issues coming on or off pit road. Ryan Wilson pits from the lead. Like I said, it was a longer run. Ooh, Ryan Wilson taking rights. He might be trying to short the next pit stop. He might be willing to give up the stage here and take a shorter pit stop on the yellow flag for the stage break as we see the 75 and 55 nose to tail. We'll see if they wait up a little bit on the 88. It looks like they are. They're slowing down a little bit. Oh, a little too much. 88 has to hit the brakes. Grant Wesley. You see the efficiency. Oh, the 55 is out of shape. That is going to hurt. But you see how making sure you time it right coming out of pit road is crucial. Even before the issues coming off of pit road for their Angry Wives team, these guys quickly getting nose to tail and getting going on the back straightaway is huge. Ricky Miles is in to make his stop. Sean Stamper is also heading in. Casey Pfeiffer's in. Cameron Young is in. Looks like Randy Showers is also in. See the same thing for these guys. If they can get off efficiently and get going, these guys are a little more strung out than I think you would like to be. Ricky Miles is going to have to wait on Cameron Young, and you see it there. You see just how important it is to get on and off pit road. These guys are veterans at it. They put in the laps here. They really figure it out. not only are they teammates and they try to communicate it, but just knowing how crucial that is to get on and off pit road as we are less than 5 laps to go in the stage. So at the end, it really doesn't matter at this point, unless you were going for the stage win. The 8 car's a little warm. He's going to show his nose. Try to keep that thing cool. We'll try to get a look back at the 8 car pushing the 84 around this thing. Again, you'll see it. He's hanging out there trying to get air. He might just let the 09 pass. Nope, not this time. Trying to keep it. Looks like the tape is actually in the middle of that Chevrolet tonight. Looks like we might have a little less tape. Yeah, they did say they were able to show up a little longer. I'm just curious to see how long they can be, how high you can get the temps in these things. Take a look back at the 48 machine with the 009, the 12 from the 48, the 1 car. He's got rubber buildup and bugs all over the front of that thing. And James Smith is looking at the left car. You hear them checking up. I mean, like we said, man, the draft and the hole that these cars put out is insane with those rear spoilers. Tall spoilers on this. I think they call it, what do they call it? The 550 package. I'm sure Trevor and Nick will correct me in the chat here. They can multitask like no other. But that tall spoiler really punches a hole in the air. Creates a whole lot of side draft, a whole lot of dependency on the draft to be in the draft. As we go to 3 laps to go in the stage, we'll see if these guys want to mix it up a little bit for the stage as we go on board with Nick Bauman here. One of the better pushers as well in the field. You see, he doesn't just get up there and slam him. He's going to get up there a little nudge, and if the temps are cool, you see him still hanging the right front out, which makes me think his temps are riding a little high right now, so I don't think he's going to be able to get in and just latch in. He's just going to give him little bumps every now and then to keep his momentum up so he doesn't overheat these cars. You see it towards the end. Guys will gradually get up to the back bumper, latch on, and then start pushing like we talked about last night, tonight. And at this point, it just seems like the cars are a little too warm. They're just trying to also be safe. The temperatures might be safe. We can't see it. iRacing loves to block out the oil pressure, water temperature, oil temperature for us. It'd be really cool for us broadcasters if iRacing would unlock that information so we can see. But I get why they do it. They don't want us sharing all of the driver secrets as they go around the racetrack. As we are coming to the final lap in this stage, we will see, does Nick Bauman want to hang in there and push the 84 car around the track? Or does Nick Bauman have his own plan in mind? I'm going to assume, though, with 4 S&M cars, he'll be happy to just finish for the stage and not fall all the way back to 5th or 6th running position as they come out of turns 1 and 2, heading down the super stretch here at Talladega, heading to the last stage of this race. It looks like everyone's behaved right now. Well, the 8's laying back a little. Looks like the 009 might have something in store. He laid back. He's getting a run. We'll see what he does coming out of turn 4. Yes, he makes his move a little late. He is actually going to make contact with the 8 car. He's not going to be too happy about that, but I'm sure the 009's apologetic as the 48 car is really pushing the 09 as they come to the line. It's going to be Jamie Shaw is still going to take the stage. The yellow flag is out. I know Kevin Dixon is not that kind of driver. That was not intentional. I'm sure they're in chat right now. He's saying his sorries as Jamie Shaw gets it done. Not sure what he's doing. He should be going around and getting his lap. But for the stage, Jamie Shaw should be the 009. Don't know where did Kevin Dixon just go? I wonder if he got caught up with that. Maybe I missed something. But it should be Jamie Shaw, Kevin Dixon, Michael Wiley, Trevor Haley, Nick Bauman, top 5, or it might be James Smith. My leaderboard's still trying to update as they go around the racetrack. Well, we've had our fair share of chaos. We just had a great green flag stint. These guys in the back are going to go ahead and go around and get their laps back and try to get themselves in a position for the final stage of this race. If we are on lap 60, that is going to leave us 25 laps to go in this thing. Fuel is still going to be a huge factor in this. I know we have green-white checkers, so it depends how much. If we get a green flag pit stop, how long do you sit on pit road? Do you risk it and just try to go to lap 80, or do you stay on pit road for a couple extra seconds, couple extra moments, and go ahead and take an extra 3 laps of fuel, or do you just wait and see if you need it and make that pit stop right before the end of this thing, even though you don't want to give up a track position? Great shot of the 84 car on Jamie Shaw with the chrome rims with the matching. He's in his box. Ricky Miles is in, and he's had his service. Fred Anderson is going around the track right now. Trevor Haley, he looks like he has a little bit of a longer stop. He might have realized he wants to throw some tires on this thing now, so he does not have to do it later to make his pit stop a little shorter. So yes, there is definitely some pit strategy being played. Zach Cato has jumped up a bunch of positions. James Smith moved up. Michael Wiley also keeps his spot up front. I'm thinking he probably only went fuel only. Maybe he just grabbed lefts. There is a time difference whether you take right side tires or just left side tires as you go around this super speedway. Well, let's take a moment. Let's try to pull in our stage winner, Jamie Shaw. Let's get him up here. Jamie, it's Craig up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good. It looks like so far for you tonight, it is going great. You have been up front quite a bit. You just took another stage. We saw you the solid top 5 last night. It looks like your teammates, though, we're going to try to mess with you there at the end. It looked like Kevin Dixon jumped out of line.
Yeah, they're trying.
Yeah, you might have to remember that later. Might have to find somebody else that are just a huge block. But good job getting up here. Good to see Kevin Dixon up front. Congratulations on the stage. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end of this thing.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Jamie Shaw. Let's go ahead and bring in another guy in here. He's been hanging around. We don't see him much. Let's bring in the 88 of Grant Wesley. How's it going, buddy? It's Craig up at the booth.
Hey Craig, how's it going, man?
It's going. I like that Menards kind of throwback 88. You got SMT on the hood. You've been hanging around. You got caught up in some stuff earlier, but right now it looks like a little pit strategy. You got yourself up front. How are you going to keep yourself up there? And do you think fuel is going to be an issue by the end of this thing?
Yeah, we're just, I've just been kind of taking it easy, just logging some laps for the most part up to this point. But yeah, I'm kind of hooking up with these SMT guys. We're trying to make some stuff happen. I think, what is it? I think if there's another caution, we got 5 laps until it throws. So I'm not sure what the strategy is going to be yet, but we're going to play it by ear and see what happens and make sure we got enough fuel for some green-white checkers.
Yes, sir. We were just talking about it in the broadcast. If it stays green, do you calculate if you're going to make it to lap 85 or do you need to get to lap 88? I guess only time will tell. Good luck out there. Hopefully we're also talking to you at the end of this thing with the S&T crew.
Hey, sounds like a plan.
That is the 88 of Grant Wesley from Princeton. Let's see if we can bother him real quick. Let's bring in the current leader, Dave Scott. You've been up front all night. You got caught up, fell back, but now you're back in P1. We'll make it quick because I know you're getting ready to go back green flag racing. How's the race playing out for you so far? It looks like pretty well sitting for where you're sitting.
Hoping I'm not done getting crashed, and so I can just keep it up front the rest of the day. Got my fingers crossed.
There you go. Well, we were just talking in the broadcast. We brought it up to Grant. We know we got green-white checkers in the bank. But judging by that stint, if everyone stays calm like they did, you could finish green flag. So we're curious to see how the strategy is going to play out. But it's been a while since we've seen that 75 car featured in the P1 position. Maybe tonight's the night you get it done.
Yeah, with cooperation and some luck, hell yeah.
All right, well, we'll let you get going. We see you coming back to the green flag here. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, if we get another yellow at any point, we'll have to go in and bother some of the AWR team as you see Dave Scott lead this field into the travel, approaching the Geico restart zone. He's going to lead them to green as Dave Scott is going to be the leader coming into the final stint of this race. We have 23 laps to go. The 49's getting a huge shove from the 48. The 75 is leaning on that quarter panel. It's going to upset the 49 a little bit. The 48 doesn't know if he can hang on, but Dave Scott made. The 009 is going to get up there and find his teammate. Trevor Haley's going to follow in behind James Smith. The two S&M cars are stuck on the inside. What do they do? Is the outside lane, do they continue to help the SMT crew? It looks like they're going to have no choice. Dave Scott, one of the more aggressive side drafters in the field, but he does it. We'll see what he can do hanging on. It looks like the numbers are not with him, but it looks like he has help coming. The AWR, and I see quite a few SMT drivers are making their way up front, like the 23 right there. The 34 is coming. Randy Showers is coming. The 55 is on their way. So there is help coming, but Michael Wiley is going to go to the point with 22 laps to go at Talladega with his teammate in tow, Trevor Haley, a dark horse driver. And then we have two more S&M cars there. Not looking too good for the dark horse cars right now. The numbers are stacked against them this evening. Some great shots going down the super stretch in Talladega here. We're going to have to try to figure out what the best camera is coming to the start-finish line of this thing. Tonight it does not want to give us our finish line camera for some reason. I don't know why, but we'll have to try to figure out if Blimp's going to be our best as we come to the line, if TV2 is going to be the best. So that looks like it's going to be from the flagship. It might be tough if we have a photo finish like we normally do here. We have the static TV camera, great camera. Let's see if I can find, there is one camera package in here that kind of does the thing. The spotter zoom or the spotter camera. We're just going to play around with this. Brian Hayes and Ryan Wilson in the 35. You see a triple push there. Dangerous, but if you do it right, super, super effective if you can get three cars going. Brian Hayes challenging one of our fellow Jolly Volleys from New Jersey. The 47 machine is trying to do his best to get one of the SMT cars out front. Michael Wiley is trying to get latched up with his teammate. It looks like they're having a little problem trying to maybe keep their cars cool right now, as it looks like Brian Hayes is going to take that lap. We'll see if Ryan Wilson is cooled off enough to start pushing his teammate again, as the 12 car is also poised to kind of make a move. But don't forget the 8 car, Mr. Talladega. He got the nickname for a reason. He's been on a tear here. Brian Hayes, again, I'm going to assume the 23 got hot. He's going to try to let his teammate cool that motor down so he doesn't blow up. So that is going to get the lead back to the 48 car of Michael Wiley, and ever so dangerous, a multi-time winner here at Talladega, as we're going to try to find the best camera angle for the finish of this thing. I'm not sure why we don't have, that might have been the shot right there, why we don't have our finish line camera. Not all the cameras are the same for every racetrack. We do have the fan cam. This is another one of my shots. You see the whole field there as guys moving around. Some guys have lost the draft. Sounds like only one car back there. The inside line continues to try to make their move. They're going to need some work. They're going to need some of the guys, third, fourth car in line, to start side drafting the outside, checking them up. It looks, you see it right there. The 8 tries to side draft the 6, but the 6 looks like he may have ended up the better winner of that. If you're the inside lane, you really need to crowd that top lane up and then dive it to the bottom to really break up what they have going on out there. Otherwise, that high line just in these cars just has all the advantage. Give a great shot of that 48 car. Let's go back here. Let's check on the 6 car of Zachary Cato, another AWR car. He's learning this better, even better. You see him crowd up the 8, trying to ruin the momentum. Their momentum really does start from 4 or 5 cars back, especially when you have a line of cars like this. If you can get guys to slowly, one by one, start to pull the high line off the bumper of the guy in front of you, it really starts to help out. You see Mr. Talladega himself in the 8 machine. I'm sure he'll be a factor at the end of this thing. The S&M crew is starting to pull out a little bit from the inside. The inside's going to have to regroup, see if maybe they can get above this lane or figure out a more aggressive. You see Billy Rickett now has jumped to the inside lane. The 1 car is going to defend. The 8 car is now stuck on the outside by himself. He's quickly falling back. As we just talked about him, could be intentional. You could see that their guys are getting a little more aggressive as the laps are counting down. He's going to try to get himself in a position to maybe avoid a little bit of the chaos. Ricky Miles still hanging in here. He's going to lead this second group around with Sean Stamper, Randy Showers, and Tommy Rogers. Dave Scott and Fred Anderson. You should see this pack start to catch the group in front of them. They are single file. That is the way how you're going to start to catch these guys, as they are 3 wide. Ricky Miles, he is from Florida. Awesome guy. Can't say enough about the man. He does an incredible amount of work behind the scene as well as behind the wheel. You see these leaders continue to be side by side. It really can slow down that group. They are 5.8 seconds back, but if you see it up there right now, well, the graphic just changed. They are closing ever so slightly on this group. If Ricky continues to hold a straight wheel, I bet you 3-4 laps from now you will see this group start to catch the group in front of them. Let's go on board here in the lead pack. You see the guys moving around. It looks like it's smooth. You see the car bottom out. You hear the 8's got to jump out, and that's just a product of the draft. The lead cars are probably only doing 204, I should say only 204 miles an hour, but with the draft, if the 8 was to lay back a couple car lengths and keep his foot down, you'd probably see speeds well over 208, 209 miles an hour for the 8 car. But unfortunately, when you have nowhere to go with the run, is the 8's going to jump to the outside of the 88 here. He's going to scrape the wall a little, but he's able to keep his momentum up. It's going to go with him. Now the 8 car's getting to the high side of this group. And that's how you do it. That's how you can make up a couple positions. You just pick off 1 or 2 guys at a time and start to work your way forward. That move right there picked him up 3 spots on the racetrack. He went from 9th to 6th in 1 corner. You don't have to get it all in 1 lap. You just got to get a couple when you're trying to get yourself in a better position for the end of this thing. Zach Cato and Brian Hayes continue to try to work on the bottom. They need to get their team. They need to get in their chat and start formulating a plan to get by those S&M cars, whether it's maybe being a little aggressive with the bumper, knocking them up out of the high line, trying to knock them down a groove, stick their nose in there. You got to do something to try to get above them, or really aggressive with the side draft. As the 83 continues to hang in there, he's going to go lap down. Steven Barrett is going down pit road. He might need fuel. He might think that this is heading to the end. Although we are about 8 laps into this as we have a crash. There is a crash. The 98 goes around the 83 as we were just talking about on the 35's around. The 67 is in it. There's somebody else in the inside wall. You see debris all over. Ricky Miles with a big move getting through there. Good job, Ricky, dodging that one. Now, unfortunately, that's going to lose him on the outside with that pack, but as the leaders approach turns 3 and 4, you will see the yellow flag come out. I'm sure you will see these guys go down pit road. If I remember correct, these cars only carry about 14 laps of fuel with the fuel load they put in these, so these drivers may not be good for too many green, white checker laps here, so this might only get them to the first one if we need to go down that road. But after the green flag racing we just saw, could be likely that you don't even need to put fuel in it for green, white checkers. As Michael Wiley takes the yellow, these guys will get them all restacked up and back at it. Casey Pfeiffer is getting his pit services done. Jeremy Jeffries also likewise getting the services done. Stephen Barrett is going to... Stephen Barrett, we just saw him going down pit road. Right before the yellow flag was out, he was probably in his box, so he... very well, unless he decides he wants to top off and get a little extra fuel, he could be leading this thing as they come back to the green flag here with only probably, when we go back green, almost 10, 11 laps to go, unless they shorten it. They may shorten the caution since there's not too many drivers out there on the racetrack right now, and start getting this thing wound down to the end of this thing so we can crown a winner for this evening, but he might really be in a position to make something happen. Kevin Dixon continues to be P2, Trevor Haley, James Smith, Jamie Shaw, Nick Bauman, Grant Wesley, Billy Rickett, Kyle Cameron, and Brian Hayes is your top 10. Just outside the top 10, Chuck Barrett, we saw him hanging out in the back earlier. Now he's put himself in position. He hung out. He's in a Hurricanes car. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but I grew up upstate PA, and it was the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. So my hockey team, I'm a die-hard Penguins fan. I'm probably a bigger Penguins fan than I am an Eagles fan. But right now we are in prime Go Birds season as the leaders go down pit road. My flightless Birds are having a little bit of a tough go of it. Not really having the years they used to have, but I'm fairly spoiled. I grew up when they absolutely stunk, and as I became a teenager, they were a dominant force in the NHL. I actually got to go see a couple Stanley Cup Finals games for myself. I got to watch them host the Stanley Cup. That's awesome, a lifelong memory that'll stick with me. But right now, Sidney Crosby's putting the team on his back, and, you know, I really don't have any beef with the Carolina Hurricanes, except for the fact that they took Jake Gensel from us and then let him walk out and go to Tampa Bay. Really didn't like that we had to get rid of Jake Gensel, but still, nonetheless, a cool-looking race car out there on the racetrack. Love when we see fellow hockey fans out there. Zach Cato. Mr. Cato, what did you do? Well, there's no better way to find out than asking the man himself. Zachary Cato
I didn't do it.
finds himself in P1. What kind of tricks do we got up our sleeves up here?
That last wreck that happened, it just so happened to throw me right in front of the pits, and I was like, well, I'll go ahead and pit right now. So I pitted, didn't get a lap down. I'll take it.
That's awesome. We were looking at the, he's painted as number 3. I think he's the 369 of Stephen Barrett. He decided to go back down pit road. I guess he wants a little extra fuel for green white checkers. We were wondering if he was going to be the leader. We didn't see you sneak on and off pit road. So, hey, you'll take it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've been caught up in almost every wreck tonight, so
well,
if I can get up here, I'll stay up here.
There you go. It looks like we are starting to, well, I should say we aren't. Drivers have been eliminating themselves all night. It looks like we only have 20-something. It looks like we have 23 cars still on track. No, we are 24 cars. You know, I like that number. You got a little ways until you find a teammate. Fred Anderson's the next guy behind you. I don't see him in your chat, so I don't think he's a teammate. But you might need to get into the DMs there and say, hey, the S&M and Dark Horse guys are going to team up. Work with me here until your teammates get there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'll do what I got to do here to stay up here until they get here. And, you know, I know what those other guys are going to do, so do my best to work against them or with them.
Yeah, there you go. Well, don't cause a wreck, but if you got to get a little rough, might have to get a little rough to get these guys, our usual suspects, the 48, the 12, the 0. Well, maybe not. Be easy on Kevin. He needs some good luck to continue for him tonight.
Right.
But to get those guys up out of that high line, maybe get above them. Hopefully, we're talking to you again. You had a great P3. I genuinely thought you were going to steal it last night. Trevor said he just got a little too hot to lay on your bumper. He was going to blow up. But maybe tonight we finally get to see that 6 car doing a burnout at the start-finish line. What do you say?
Well, we'll see. I'm going to try.
There you go. Well, we'll have to bother some more of your teammates, but for now, good luck. I see the lights are off in the pace car.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Craig.
All right, Zach Cato in the Angry Wives Racing car. Getting it done right now. I'm going to assume, I'm just guessing we're going to have about 10 laps to go. I think we took the yellow at 12 or 13. Don't quote me on it. The caution banner's up, so I can't see how many laps just yet we have until we start to get ready to go back green flag racing. We didn't get a chance to look at that last wreck. We might be able to pull that up at the end of this thing. Well, we kind of saw it live, so we might not have to go back and look at this thing. We're coming down to the end of it. Like I said, don't know how much fuel these guys have on board. Zach Cato's actually going to have one less lap of fuel on board with him as we get ready. The pace truck is off. These cars are going to pace. You'll see the field tighten up as they get ready to go back green flag racing. This could be very peculiar how you got teammates all over the place now. Who lets who in? Where do they go? As Zach Cato has the accelerator down, he's going to take us back green flag racing with only 9 laps to go from Talladega. Let's put you in the crank it up camera one last time before we call the end of this race. You saw it live, the 12 car in the 009 hook up and make it work on the bottom. I told you there is a way to do it. If you stay too high on the outside, the inside lane can have a big advantage of you. As Trevor Haley rockets his way to the front. The 009 of Kevin Dix is going to continue to hang his nose out. He's been pushing for quite a while. I know the temps are down. Oh, we got a huge wreck in the back. Huge crash in the back. That's a big one. The 396 gets involved. The 67 is involved. Chuck Barrett is involved. We have Cameron Young is involved. He's in the outside wall. Ryan Wilson is involved. That will bring out another caution flag. Oh, Casey Pfeiffer is involved. Steve Barrett, we called out, is involved. Let's go back up front. A yellow flag will come out. They might wait a lap or two before they throw it. Because like I said, they don't want to just continue to go under the yellow flag. We'll try to go back and take a look at how that one started. It also looks like Randy Showers was involved. Brian Hayes had a tow, so they will try to throw the yellow probably sooner than later to try to keep as many available laps for the field, so these guys can tow. They might stay green towards the end of these guys' tows, so they can immediately pull out and start working on getting their laps back. Usually when you throw the yellow when guys are towing, it doubles their towing time, so that's why sometimes they just stay green flag racing. You see Zach Cato still hanging strong. He is surrounded by S&M cars right now, 3 of them right now, but Billy Rickett and his teammate of Grant Wesley, who we just talked to earlier, is hanging around. So as it runs right now, the 6 car with the SNT crew and Billy Rickett there, Billy is probably not going to stay in line with these guys. This is probably one of the better shots right here for the 6 crew to get it done tonight. It's a long time coming. If he's able to get it, Grant Wesley is going to jump to the bottom here. We do get the yellow flag. Those guys are probably done towing. We'll go back here and try to get a look as to what happened coming out of turn 4. Just a few laps to go, I should say. Let's get a better camera angle. Looks like Dave Scott also. We didn't see that earlier. He's involved. Oh, just a big stack up. Kyle Cameron is in the outside wall. Not sure what happened before that. A stack up the 34. The 75 jumps out of the throttle. Ryan Wilson probably does not have enough time to react. It's going to turn the 75 car down the track. 35 also nowhere to go. And it looks like the 326, he's going to probably touch the grass. Yeah, that's going to shoot him back up. It's going to shoot the 75 back up the track. And from there on, there's just no, these guys are just hanging out. The 67 goes for one wild ride. He's up in the catch fence, comes back down. You see the right front completely destroyed on that machine. But these guys have their unlimited fast repairs. Ricky Biles, look at that, driving through another one. Look at you, Ricky, continuing to just dodge wrecks left and right. That is awesome. Good for you, buddy. Let's go back and let's see if we can get it from your vantage point and see if we can go back and see what happens here as we'll put it in full speed. They're in the process He's hammered down. He knows there's spots to be made. He's up on. He's on the brakes. It just turns right under it. He's gonna make a decision where to miss Dave Scott as they continue to wreck further up. We didn't even see that. Randy Showers and a couple other guys that were involved. Tommy Rogers got to get up there. Look at that. Look what checking up will do for you when you try to dodge wrecks. You gain a ton of track position. Let's go back and see if we can see what happened that caused the 21 car to go around. This app loves to catch wrecks mid-progress. It looks like the 8's going to be pushing the 21. It's just going to get him a little out of shape. He's going to come back up. The original wreck, he's still trying to hang on. The difference in banking is just going to pull the wheel right out of the 21's hand. He's going to come up, get to 47. The 09, Nick Bauman goes around. And poor old Tommy Rogers is also going to try to miss this low, but Brian Hayes is probably doesn't know his teammates coming down pit road with him. Looks like they were both aiming to go through there, and they are going to synchronize spin. Very nicely done. Hey, if you were in the pool at the Olympics, I'd say that's a good score. You're almost in each other's tire marks right there. They're going to go around. Doesn't look like they have too much damage, so they might just top off on a little fuel. Let's go back live here. Your current leader is Trevor Haley. This graphic really doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but usually if there is a bubble, it means that they have pitted recently, so I don't think... right there it says 9, so now we have numbers there, which we didn't have yesterday. So it looks like Cato is on 9 laps of his stint. Yes, so 1 lap longer than the rest of the field, so we did not miss any pit stops for the leaders. They're all stay out. They all think they have enough fuel to go the distance. I do not believe we are in green-white checkers. I think we are in natural green-white checker right now. I know we do have 3 available to us. As let's get a better look. I think we're in the middle of 3 and 4 right now. That we are. So let's try to drag one guy in here really quick. Your leader, Trevor Haley. Trevor, I know you're about to go green. Are we in green-white checker, or we have a natural green-white checker?
It's 83-85.
Okay, all right. Good luck, driver. All right, so we are not in our normal green, our overtime green-white checkers just yet. As we get ready for the green, the 6 car really hanging back. He better close that gap up if he doesn't want to let that 12 car get too far out in front. He's going to try to build a little run. The 12 gets going. The 6 doesn't quite get up there. He needed to be up the back bumper of the 12 and hopefully shove the 12 and himself further out. Oh, the 88 got to cut his teammate a break there. The unofficial partner, because now Zach Cato is going to drop like a rock down there on the bottom by himself as Trevor Haley continues to lead. We got Kevin Dixon, Michael Wiley, Grant Wesley continues his great race. James Smith, Jamie Shaw, Nick Bauman, Zach Cato has fallen all the way from 8th on that restart. He really needed to be up the bumper of the 12, shoving the 12 and himself out in front of the 009, so he could have squeezed in line in front of the 009. Left a little bit too much space there, but we are heading to 2 laps to go at Talladega. If there's any other chaos, well, they have this lap to make it happen to try to get some green-white checkers as Trevor Haley continues to lead this thing. It looks like Nick Bauman's going to try to lead the inside lane. He's got Zachary Cato with him. If that high line does not move down, that is going to allow Nick Bauman to make up a ton of track position. You see it there. Here comes Zach Cato pushing hard. He should be nice and cool because of the restart and kind of being by himself. You see the outside lane push down as Nick Bauman pulls even with Trevor Haley through turns 3 and 4. Let's make sure there's nothing going on further in the back. We look like we are going to stay green. There's a 67 a little bit loose under the apron. Kyle Cameron's looking to shove his nose in there. We are coming to the white flag, and look at the SMT boys of Tommy Rogers and Ryan Wilson getting to the top. Where they're going to block the Grant Wesley gets turned, but we are on the last lap. Tommy Rogers on the outside. He needs the 98 to get there. It looks like Ryan Wilson's going to turn under his teammate. That's not what they needed. They needed to stay in line. Kevin Dixon shoving the daylights out of the out of the 12 car, but that could put them in a really bad spot. They are pretty far out. That might give the 98 or the guys on the bottom A huge run coming back as you see them separated. That is not going to help us. Tommy Rogers is going to make another move. Mike Wiley's going to move up and grab his teammate leaving. Poor Tommy by himself, but here comes Billy Rickett. They're coming off turn 4. The 009 on the back bumper of the 12. They're heading into the tribal. When does the 009 make his move? He shows his nose to the outside. Here comes Kevin Dixon, the outside. The 48's going to make it 3 wide. It looks like it's going to be Trevor Haley at the line is going to take the S&M crew head on, and they are going to finish this thing 3 wide. I told you we didn't have a great camera. Let's back it up. Let's show you the end of this thing. Yet another photo finish for the leaders coming to the line. The 09 made his move, and just like that, the 12 car is going to be the winner. The Kevin Dixon P2. Oh, man. What a great finish. We'll have to get another look at that, but let's take a look at your final results right here. Trevor Haley, Kevin Dixon, Michael Wiley, James Smith, another top 5 finish. Casey Pfeiffer hangs on, gets himself a top 5. All these drivers will be shown on the Facebook and the social medias. Look at that gap. 3 cars within less than half a tenth of a second of each other coming back to the line. Stephen Baird with a great finish. He recovers in that 3 machine. He's going to get 6. Randy Showers also recovers. Tommy Rogers, Chuck Barrett, Dave Scott, Zach Cato falls to 11th. Cameron Young with a good run. One of the new guys. Haven't seen him around too much. Billy Rickett, P13. Kyle Cameron, 14th. Ryan Wilson was up there. How quickly you can fall to 15th. Jeremy Jeffries and Sean Stamper. Ricky Miles comes home in the 18th position. And that looks like that is it for the grid. Let's go and double check. Make sure we don't have any more. Yes, the other cars. I'll check. Grant Wesley's going to finish 1 lap down with his wreck at the end. Brian Hayes got caught up there on the last lap as well. So that is the 22 cars that finished this race. But let's pull in your winner tonight. Yet again is going to be Trevor Haley in the 12 machine. Trevor, you stole one there. I thought them boys were going to gang up on you, but it looks like they were trying to get one all for themselves. I was really expecting the 48 to go with his teammate there, but instead he made a move to the inside. What did you see in the mirror coming off turn 4?
Oh, a lot of cars behind me. I just didn't know where they were going to go. Luckily, they somewhat stayed in line there, coming to the line.
Were you worried that when you saw the 09 make the move, were you worried that the 48 was going to go with him and just shove him right by you?
Yeah, it was definitely a thought in my mind.
You guys worked so well together. You kept all the unaffiliated, the affiliated but not official teammates up there. Tommy Rogers made a huge move to the inside. I thought he had it. Him and Ryan Wilson got a little contact. A lot of moving there on the last lap. Were you more mirror driving than looking out the window?
Yeah, definitely. Cato and Nick had a huge run coming to, was it the last lap there?
Yeah, they had a massive run that I will have to go back and take another look as to what happened. But if you're watching the stream, you can see the top 3 come across the line. And then from about 4th to, I can't even tell if that's 12th, they're all like under a dinner plate. They're so close together.
Yeah, these cars were a handful tonight with this new setup, but it was a lot of fun to drive.
How was the tire wear? It seemed like we had a little bit more chaos coming on a pit road than last night. The fuel looks like, how much fuel did you have at the end of that thing? Did you have enough for the green white checkers?
I probably had enough for 1 or 2.
1 or 2. All right. I wasn't sure how much fuel was on board the cars tonight. Well, congratulations getting it done again. We're going to bring in the P2 finisher, but before we let you go, anybody you want to talk about, give a shout out to, and putting the 12 car back in victory lane?
Yeah, shout out to the S&M guys, Kevin and Michael and James and Ricky for helping me there, and shout out to you for broadcasting and everybody watching.
I appreciate it, buddy. Well, good job tonight. Let's bring in the P2 finisher, Kevin Dixon. Kevin Dixon, you were my pick when you were way back in 39 to win this thing. I'm a little surprised Michael Wiley didn't go with you. Did you know he was going to pull to the inside? They're coming to the line.
No, it was a free for all.
There you go.
I knew it was going to go that way. I should have stayed a little closer to Trevor and gone just a hair earlier, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, a great run for you tonight. We saw it for Jamie Shaw last night. He started turning his luck around. Hopefully, this is the turnaround you needed. You've had a rough couple weeks. I picked you early in the race. I'm glad I didn't put the broadcaster jinx on you. Just one position shy tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to with this awesome P2 finish and this awesome 3-wide finish for the win?
This is James and Ricky for putting this on, man.
Yeah, they're awesome. This the whole S&M community, like we were saying earlier, the Discord is always really active. There seems like there's new teams starting to populate even more than the 4 or 5 regulars that are in here. Well, I'm happy to see you finally up here in the top 5 again, and especially in the top 3. Hopefully this momentum keeps up for you.
Thanks, Greg.
And let's bring in your P3 finisher tonight, Mr. Michael Wiley. I'm gonna say it. I am shocked you did not push Kevin Dixon right on by that 12 car tonight.
Well, I'll be honest with you. We were waiting, and I wasn't sure what he was going to do. If he would have went low, I was going low no matter what. So if he'd have pulled out to the left, I probably would have been right on his bumper pushing him.
Well, either way, it sure made it exciting coming to the line. Unfortunately, we didn't have the cool finish camera that we had last night. I think I found one here at the end, but the shot looks awesome. You guys, with all 3 of you under half a tenth of a second coming to the line. That's pretty awesome. Another great finish for you. Another strong running for the S&M crew. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a fun race. I tell you what, I think the setup caught a lot of people off guard because I've seen a lot of people just spinning out on their own. Hell, I ran into the back of James and spun out on my own. So that setup's a little tricky, but it was definitely a lot of fun. It was fun to drive.
It did look like a little bit more of a handful. I noted earlier on the broadcast that it seemed like there was a lot more chaos tonight. We saw it with Randy Showers. He got a little squirrely. It seemed like it was a lot harder to save. Like the suspension was a little softer than what we're used to. Was that the case behind the wheel?
That's definitely what it felt like, especially I noticed when I was pushing Jamie, he was kind of all over the place. Then I got him way out of shape that one time. So it's a little softer, but that just means you just got to drive it a little harder. I like it.
Yeah, that's all. Well, we like it in the broadcast booth because it created a little action. We were a little stale last night at Daytona, but you boys ramped it up. I don't know if you're seeing the live shot on the broadcast, but if you look behind you, I'm going to have to play it forward because I don't even know how or who. I know who technically came across the scoring line, but I don't know if you see that shot. There's about 10 cars just on top of each other, 3 and 4 wide behind you. So the setup might be a keeper. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. Plus the track is really hot and slick. So I think we run this a few races and see what it does. But it definitely put on a good show tonight.
That's what we're all about up here. We love a good show. Well, congratulations on the top 3. We're going to bring in the boss man here. Congrats once again on your P3 finish.
Thank you, buddy.
We'll bring in the 4th place finisher, last night's winner. James, are we going to have the weird stuff that we had last night that I can't hear you until about the 3rd time we try this thing?
No, sir. I got you, buddy.
There we go. Another great race. Michael Wiley just touched on it. The setup was a handful, but it was fun. What was your thoughts I don't know if you were just looking out the window of what happened in front of you, but if you're looking at the live shot, what was happening behind you was just as entertaining as what was happening in front of you.
Yeah, we just had all, that setup. You definitely have to drive the car, that's for sure. But it made it a lot of fun, so I liked the setup, and I think the other drivers liked it, especially in S&M. So I think we're going to keep it for a while and see what we can do. But great race again tonight. I know we had a few wrecks in the beginning, and it seemed like it was kind of a shit show at first, but it all settled in, and I thought it was a great finish.
Yeah, I was saying that in the broadcast. Usually the first stage is kind of a throwaway. You have 43 cars. 15, 20 guys are going to quit. You might lose another 8 there at the end, and that's almost the exact math we came up with. It looks like we had 24, 25 cars finish this thing. But for the 24 or 25 guys that stuck around, it put on a whale of a show there at the end. The finish was incredible. Great job on the 4th place finish tonight. Last night's winner, another top 5 for you. I know you shouted out your wife last night. You got to give that same shout out tonight.
I gotta always thank my wife for putting up with me doing all this, and shout out to everybody coming out tonight racing, and always and for S&M also, man. Got to thank everybody for what you all do, man, to help us out. So we appreciate you, buddy.
Alrighty, James. Well, congratulations on the finish tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, I don't believe we have our 5th place finisher in chat. We do not. So we'll bring in a guy who may not have had the race that he wanted, but he still comes home with a top 7 position. Randy Showers. Randy Showers, it's Craig at the booth. Are you still on the mic, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Well, you were caught up in a lot of chaos tonight. But you still managed a top 10 finish out of that. You're like 3, 4, almost 5 wide coming to the line. We had a lot of conversation about the setup tonight. Did you notice a big difference in the setup tonight, especially with the hotter temperatures?
I really didn't notice too much of a difference in it. The only thing that I noticed tonight that I was basically like a pinball tonight.
Yeah, you got caught up a lot. Yeah, we were just touching on it with James. You have a 43 car field. If you just, I mean, I know it stinks sometimes. You get caught up in stuff, but if you hang in there, it seemed like the racing towards the end of the race, once the guys who were probably being a little more aggressive than they should have been backed out, it seemed like with the 20-something guys that were left there in the final stage, it seemed like the racing was pretty entertaining. How was it from behind the wheel?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good there coming to the checker there at the end. I didn't realize that I was gonna come flying on up through there like I did because I didn't have anybody basically helping me out. I was actually just catching the draft off the, I believe it's like the 3 car, and I gave him a hell of a shot and finished 7th.
All right. Well, congratulations on the top 10 finish. Good job, buddy. Hopefully we see you. Well, you won't see me up in the booth tomorrow night. I'll probably be stuck at the firehouse, but hopefully we see you in the winner's circle here shortly.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Like I said, it's a tough group of guys here, and like I said, tonight was just it's a really off night.
Yeah, usually we see that 21 car leading several laps around here, but I'm sure you'll get it figured out for the next one. Good job, buddy. Congratulations on the top 10.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Great job that you do up there.
Thanks, buddy. All right, well, let's just go ahead. Let's involve the chaos here. Let's bring in the whole S&M or SMT team, AWR, if they're still here. Let's bring in the whole team. We're going to drag in the whole team there. Zach Cato looks like he left. What is up, AWR, SMT, all the above team? You guys were close. You almost had it. Tommy and Ryan, looks like you guys had a little bit of an oopsie up off the corner. You guys put on a whale of a finish there. Dave trying to recover. You guys are like 4 and 5 wide here at the finish. Pretty wild finish here at the end. What did you and Tommy need to keep it going there with Cato on that final lap?
I tell you what, Craig, I just needed a little bit more talent is what it ended up being. I got a little flustered. I got into Grant, and when I looked back and seen him, and then I kind of got off a little bit of pace. So it was purely me running out a little bit of talent.
Well, you guys, I really thought you boys were going to get it done. I mean, you had yourself, Tommy, Grant was right there right until the start-finish line. And even when Grant spun to the inside wall, you guys still had a massive run with Cato there on the inside. I thought tonight was going to be the night. You guys continue to improve each and every night out there. I think the addition of Dave Scott really helps. He really knows these cars and this track well. How long before we see one of these cars burning it down at the start-finish line?
It can be at any point.
There you go.
We're on the cusp.
More than likely tomorrow.
There you go.
I mean, we're getting pretty close. We're still a new team, still trying to gel. There's just little nuances we're still trying to iron out.
Well, I mean, I see it, especially, I saw it in the race car before I started jumping up here in the booth. You guys were maybe a lap behind on everything. Now you were 3/4, and I would say maybe you're a nose behind everyone else with what you're saying you had to iron out. You guys are really close to getting it done. You continue to push the needle there on the last lap. Make it darn interesting there, especially with the 12 leading this thing in the 009 and 48. With you guys on the inside, I really thought if those two left at 12, it was really going to leave the door wide open for you guys on that bottom side.
Yeah, I was just shocked that Michael Wiley didn't go with his teammate.
Stir the pot, Tommy.
Kevin Dixon was for sure to win that.
Stir the pot. I love it.
He didn't go with him, man.
Yeah, I asked both of them about it. Michael said if he would have stayed to the bottom, he was committed to the bottom. He wasn't sure. I don't know. I think Michael Wiley was trying to steal one there.
There's a rumor going around that Michael Wiley is actually dark horse.
Ooh.
In disguise.
I'll have to go back and talk to the car owner on that one and see if we got a secret deal working in on that. Well, congratulations, guys. You guys had I know it wasn't all the finish that you were looking for, but Tommy, you still come home in the top 10 there. Dave is also in the top 10. Zach Cato just on the outside. He left. He might be a little frustrated. We'll make sure we give him an extra hard time tomorrow. You guys were all working really well together. Strong outing yet again for you guys tonight. You led a bunch of laps last night as well. I'm sure you guys will get it figured out and rocking here later next week.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I need the lottery numbers for this week because you predicted Kevin to win and he came up with like a fraction of a second away.
And did you hear that? I called it before we took the green flag when he was in 41st.
Yeah, that's why I want those lottery numbers.
Hey, if I know, I will send them over to you. We both be millionaires together. Maybe I can finally get my sim rig so I don't have to sit on this super uncomfortable chair anymore. Well, you guys, another strong outing. I'm going to make a very bold prediction before we even take the green flag. If you guys are here for my next broadcast, I have a feeling that this team is going to steal one before next week or this upcoming week is out. How about that for a prediction?
I think that's a safe prediction.
All right. Well, good job, everyone. We'll see you on the next one.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
man. Great broadcast.
Thanks, buddy. That is the SMT. I keep calling them the S and MT. It's just that we have the S&M guys, we have the SMT guys, there's a bunch of acronyms going around there. The only one because it's my team, but that Dark Horse Racing, instead of calling ourselves DHM, that would really throw me off. Way too many acronyms out there, but another great job for them tonight. As you see, yet another photo finish here at Talladega. Run it back as they come across the line. You see the other cars coming there. Great finish at the end of this thing. And there's the man, Ricky Miles, coming to the line. He had a quiet weekend, but don't think Ricky Miles is going to stay quiet for long. That man has been up in it before. He had a little bit of a quiet weekend, but don't you think I don't think, and I know it's not going to continue for Ricky. He's going to get this ship righted. It just seems like sometimes, you heard it from the SMT crew, we talked about it with Kevin Dixon, you're just getting a little bit of a rut, and all it takes is one race to go and come out and get a great finish. You saw Jamie Shaw have a good finish last night. He was leading this thing for quite a while. Put it on the pole. So another strong outing for the 84 car. He may have left us early. I got to go back through my running grid. He finishes 19th tonight. I think he got caught up in something. Yes, he's that blue car you see in the middle of the driveway. He got caught up maybe when the 88 got turned. But don't expect these guys to stay quiet for long. It's not going to be long before we end up with a 4 or 5 wide finish at the end of this thing with all the teams represented, including some guys that just hang out in our general chat and they end up working together. Just want to give a quick shout out once again to D&D Graphics for sponsoring this thing, making up cars. Like I said, we're going to get the links out to all the drivers. He has some mock t-shirts and hats drawn up that these guys can fully customize for themselves and their teams and start representing their brand. Maybe one of these days, I know Evan Perry is talking about a podcast up and coming. Maybe you will see some of these drivers on that podcast representing their team with some of their merch. D&D Graphics, check them out if you need any cars painted or anything like that. We got some more sponsors coming on board. That news to be announced shortly. Want to give another shout out to the SMT crew. They have a championship series coming out. If you're looking to take part in a cash prize league, it's only a $25 buy-in, but the cash pool at the end of it, all the money put together is going to be $1,000 spread out for all of the winners. And the season-long champion, something awesome to go check out. They race at 7:30. We didn't get a chance to broadcast for them tonight. I'm hoping to pop in for a couple broadcasts throughout the week, especially getting those guys going. I promise I get that going. We've just had some computer difficulties, and then we had a winter storm blow through the the Philadelphia area. If you were watching the Eagles game, you saw the snow coming down. We're a little further west, so we got even a little bit more snow than them, so I spent most of my afternoon down at the firehouse. Got back to this thing pretty late. So hopefully during the week we'll broadcast some of Evan's races coming up, start to showcase his drivers. There's some drivers that aren't in this league, in his league. Check it out. Follow the links on the YouTube page. Go check out Highline Racing Networks. Their playlists are also embedded in our YouTube page. You'll find their Discord in there for the SMT if you're interested in running in that. We will continue to put on races at 9 o'clock. The lobby opens. Races at 10. They fill up quick, so get in here. And if you're watching this, just take a look. If you stick around to the end, the racing is fantastic. We always have photo finishes here at the end of this thing at S&M Motorsports. Check us out on Discord. Like I said, we're a rapidly growing community, and it is that at its most. We are a community. The Discord is always active. There's always something going on. The Beef channel is one of the best parts. We don't have guys usually arguing and yelling over the radio. They'll get muted. But what we encourage everyone to do, if you think somebody did something stupid on track and you have beef with them, upload the clip, put it in the Beef channel. We'll all laugh and make fun of them together. There's all kinds of other channels out here. If you paint your own race cars, we have a tab for that. Everyone likes to go and check those out. We got jokes and memes. We got other guys' hobbies that they do outside of iRacing. Some guys, we have a tab in there to show off your sim setup. We have some guys with some really awesome full track racer setups and triple monitors, quadruple monitors. Loving to post their setups out there and willing to help everyone. If you have any questions on purchasing anything and figuring that all out, getting some better equipment, there's a ton of guys in there willing to help you out and find the cheapest or the best options out there. That should wrap it up for us tonight. Check out the Discord. Come be a part of it. It is a community. If anybody can help out in any type of way, we fully welcome everyone's cooperation, especially some of the teams that show up here every week, the S&M guys, the SMT guys, the Angry Wives Racing guys. We didn't get a chance to catch them before they got out of this thing tonight, but they are always super appreciated. I know their wives go in to the chat. They're very active in the YouTube chat on our Friday night chats, watching their guys go around the racetrack, so it's awesome that they bring in the support and the talent that they bring in. Well, that should be everything for this evening. I'm just sitting here rambling at the end of this thing. Thanks for checking out S&M Iracing. Hopefully we will see you soon.